Hello, welcome back to Podding Along. Today we are talking about the Snyder Cut. We've watched it, we enjoyed it. Start with some non-spoilers. First of all, what are your thoughts?
I actually really liked the film. Like the first one, to be fair, the first one I even liked. There was a lot of things that I didn't like in it, but I still overall I really liked it. But
Yeah.
this one was another classmate. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it took a good, probably nearly 2 hours to get going. Is what I struggle with.
I was going to say it was split into
It
parts,
took
wasn't
me
it?
it took nearly a movie length to start. It felt.
I think there was so many questions that needed to be answered that they had to do it that way. I like the fact that it was split into different parts because I was thinking 4 hours, fuck, I'm not going to be able to sit here. I don't know when I'm going to be able to pause it. But when there's then part ones and part twos pop up, you're like, yeah, I can have a rest now.
I agreed. I enjoyed watching it we took an interval break and we went back.
Oh, we had to.
Had to. It's
Yeah.
a must-do for a 4-hour film like this.
Oh god, yeah, I had to get the snacks and go for a piss.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I did enjoy. There was some things in this film. I'm not spoiling the film yet, but especially around the character of Cyborg, we got a lot more backstory to our characters with the added time. It was a lot more character based.
Oh, for sure.
The third act was completely improved
Yeah.
from the first. It's just amazing.
So yeah, talking about the characters, Cyborg, I now know his backstory. I now know why he does this. You find out a lot more about his family. The Flash, I know a lot more about him.
The Flash is much better done in this
Because
film.
I didn't know anything.
And they
about
got
him.
rid of some of the rubbishy jokes that we didn't enjoy in the Wheaton cut
Yeah.
that we got.
But one of my favourite things about this film, attention to detail. One, like on their outfits and what they actually look like, and then the fact it wasn't so dark.
Oh, the colouring, it completely changed. It was still dark, but it wasn't so much red tones all over the film.
Yeah, for sure. It was really
Much
nice.
preferred.
And I loved the bad guy. I've forgotten his name.
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
I
His
feel-
armour was amazing.
I feel he looked a lot better. I still don't think he had enough character development, but I love how we brought in another big bad who was his boss.
Oh,
No spoilers yet, but it really added to this character of Steppenwolf this time round, I felt.
100%.
I enjoyed how much the Steppenwolf character and background characters got a lot more time, and it made them feel better.
It made him feel more important as well, didn't it? Because I know he was only someone's bitch, but you could see they almost showed you the pressure that he was under to do this, and the pressure he was putting on all the people that
Completely.
were working for him. And I thought that was really nice just to see it's not just all about him. There's higher powers that are controlling what he does, and he has to put that pressure on people, and he's having to do this to be able to survive.
And there were bits, that we kept from the movie. I think they said about 25% is kept,
Yeah,
something like that. And you can tell the good scenes are kept.
yeah,
Literally, all the good scenes you enjoyed, you still get.
100%. And
And there's no rubbishy jokes about brunch now.
no, not at
Thank
all.
gosh.
One of my favourite things, I don't think this is a spoiler, there was no Russian family.
I agree. Although I thought they were going to put them in just for the culture.
I thought they were going to have a little snip, but they didn't even have a little 2 seconds, did they?
I enjoyed a lot about this. We got some cameos from characters who, I'm so glad are in the universe now. Things happened in this film that were amazing.
And this is my first DC film I've properly watched. I know that sounds bad. I haven't watched DC before, so I didn't really know what was going on. That's why it was so good that it explained most of the characters. Because obviously I've heard of them, I know what's happened in the films, but I haven't sat down and actually watched them yet. So it was really good they took the time to explain it. And I tell you what, Zachy boy, everyone knows what his directing style's like, don't they?
That is my biggest issue with this film, was his directing style, because there's points where it works, but there's only 4 hours of slow-mo with a dramatic score behind it. Doesn't work.
I loved it.
It got better at the end. The end and the middle were far better, but the start, gosh, it was horrendous. Every scene, and it was like, too much for me.
No, I think you're wrong there. I think it was nice having. I love it when you're focusing on that guy.
It worked in the third act when it was very dramatic, and in the
That's the
middle of the
thing.
film, it worked so well at that point. In the start, when we're building, I don't need dramatics yet. I
think we did. I like the drama. I like it when everything seems to be going so fast paced. He just slows it down.
It's a 4-hour movie, mate. It can't be going that fast paced.
I know. You know what I mean. It's
The
just
only thing I thought of this film is, yes, we've done a director's cut, Didn't need to be 4 hours. We could have had an absolutely outstanding movie, 2.5 hours, 3 hours long maybe.
At
didn't
least had
need-
to be 3 hours.
Yeah, but we didn't need all 4 hours here.
Because I love the
There was
backstories.
so many scenes where we weren't gaining any. There was a scene with our villain that was actually repeated after something was collected twice. It was completely repeated, not needed twice.
Yeah.
Barely any difference to the scene. And it was very much not. There was a lot not needed. You know, there was a point where we meet a character and they've changed the opening to him. Didn't work. Longer. Not needed.
No, you're completely right. But
But
I needed to know all that information, and I think they had a lot of information for me to give.
so before we move on to spoiling the film, what are you going to rate it out of 10?
I'm going to rate it an 8. 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and as I've been seeing on a lot of other people's reviews, there was a big thing about this Zack Snyder film where it's like the mustache on Superman at the start.
Oh, so good, that's gone. Don't worry, people. Russian family and mustache is gone.
Yeah, the main 2 problems with it have been fixed. So that was good for me, and that's why it's gone from a 7 to an 8.
Okay. I would agree with you on an 8. I think there was moments in it that were absolutely outstanding. Some of the best visuals I've seen. And you have to give that to Zack Snyder. There was, at the start of the movie, it didn't work. Third act worked amazingly. Completely made it a great film.
Yeah.
And I loved it to bits at points like that. But there was obviously, it was too long for me. And the start was a bit slow getting going. But when it got going, I thought it was outstanding. So I would agree with an 8. So moving on to spoilers. We'll give you 5 seconds to quickly flick off if you don't want to hear them. 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. How much was Cyborg improved?
Cyborg was amazing. I
Oh.
hadn't even heard of him before I watched these films, and in the first Justice League that we watched, it's like, who's this fucker? Where's he come from? What's he doing? And then suddenly, this film's like, I'll explain, like, you get to see him at his college football, you
Oh,
get
it
to
was
see him with
amazing,
his
that
mum.
scene.
Where's his mum? I always wondered in the first film. Now I know she's dead.
The relationship between him and his dad, they were obviously had issues, but it worked so well. You saw the whole story, and it makes this sacrifice you get from his dad so much more.
Because you could see that his dad wasn't there, like, at his big moments in his life so far, was he? 'Cause
But he was
working.
there when he was.
And then he just took all of it to save him.
And
I thought that was really cool.
And we all thought, oh my god, that sacrifice was for nothing. And then you find out, no, he's heat mapped it so they can go exactly where you need
Oh, I
to.
forgot about that sacrifice. That was perfect.
I'll tell you what else was perfect. With the third act, for example, when you watch the original cut, Batman basically, they don't have a plan going into this final battle.
No.
Batman's destroyed the shield this time. He's not going alone, and it works.
Because before, it's just, like, in the first film, it was like, right, I'm ditching you guys, I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, and this one, they've got a plan that's it's team. It feels like a team.
Yeah, because that's what they
And the
needed.
chemistry between the characters is far better, I feel.
100%. Yeah, I think, because in the Avengers, they all get on most of the time, don't they?
They feel like a group of friends.
They feel like they're working together to do it. Whereas in the first Justice League, it almost felt like too many big personalities. No one was liking each other.
Tell you what, one character that did get done dirty though in this version, Aquaman.
Really?
I don't feel he was a good character again. But I don't like how they perceived Aquaman in the films, to be honest.
I thought it was quite... I feel like I knew a lot more about Aquaman in the second film than I did in the first.
I'd agree. I think you know more about pretty much every character, but Aquaman though. Like, and you do know a little bit more about him, but not as much growth as you get in every other character.
It was interesting to see when they went to Atlantis. They were protecting... It was good to just see a bit more of the mother boxes than protecting
Yeah.
the mother boxes and
Well,
seeing
on
it all. Rather than
Themyscira,
just...
for example, when
Yeah.
we see how much damage is done to Themyscira to get it, how much of a fight they put up, it feels so much better, that whole scene, sorry.
Definitely, because I think in the first one it was literally he jumps down,
Grabs it,
goes off again. Pretty
Yeah.
much, wasn't it? 2-minute fight. See you later.
Shoulder barge of the horse, off he pops.
Yeah.
And we keep the shoulder barge, but it was amazing. And I love what the effect they've added now with Steppenwolf's axe, with the sparks flying off. It feels
was
so
really
much
cool.
more intense.
Oh god, yeah. That was super.
So
cool.
much better what they've done with Steppenwolf. Obviously, still not a great villain. You know, he's still quite.
His armor was like
His armor was
mirrored,
amazing.
but purpley as well.
He
wasn't
looked amazing. He just wasn't amazing.
and he was just so big. But
Mm.
oh my word, the top dog. He was massive.
Darkseid. We get Darkseid in this film. Oh my god.
He was so big. He looked scary. He was looking down on everyone, wasn't he?
I don't know if they're gonna. They have to do. Zack Snyder has to come back for another film here because there's so much I want to see with Darkseid.
I feel like he set it up so that he's made it so he has to come back.
Yeah, he's made it so he has to. And he said he doesn't want to do that or something like that. But
it'd be a shame if he doesn't because I think
how we get Martian Manhunter as well. I want to see more Martian Manhunter.
that was good. There's a lot more characters in this film that we didn't even have in the first film.
Oh, it was so much better. And there were things like Black Suit Superman we got showing that, in the comics after Superman's died and he's come back, he recovers in this black suit. We get a nod to that. It feels...
Yeah.
We get a lot more.
I really enjoyed this and I feel like it was just so nice to actually...
See the vision that he made was nice to see.
Exactly. I know it was 4 hours long, 3 hours 52, but I did not mind it. I know we had to watch it in 2 parts, but I feel like it was completely worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue. I did love it to bits.
But? Is there a but there or is that it?
I loved it to bits, There's a few faults with the film, obviously, as you get with any film. My biggest fault with this is probably the first quarter of the film is actually a bit boring. Takes a while to get going. But
you didn't get into it at all, did you?
It took me a while to get going in it. But after I got in, I was hooked. So that's why it's an 8 out of 10 for me.
Only bit on the first bit was there's so much dramatic music for bits that weren't.
That's what I'm saying
dramatic.
to you. The whole bit on when we first meet Aquaman, and we got the singing of the what is it like this, the village.
Yeah.
Singing, and we stayed on that for a good 30 seconds at minimum, and it was like we don't need this.
I thought that was quite nice.
Oh, I was not a fan. All in all, definitely an 8 out of 10. I loved it. At the ends and bit, it really was worth the wait.
Yeah, so another thing was, we didn't just get the Cyborg's backstory, we got the Flashes.
The Flash at that job interview bit was so weird how that girl was like dying, like I think it's meant to be Iris West.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
But how he like caressed her in the air, it was real creepy. I did not like this new look for the Flash at all. Didn't work.
I thought I was interested. Like, I know that's probably not. It's not the first time he's had his powers, but it's good to see him in a normal scene. So I feel like he's a DC's version of Spider-Man, young, a bit stupid.
I think they're
that
trying
kind of thing.
to pull off a jokery, like not
Yeah.
as in the Joker, but like a jokey vibe to him, and
Yeah,
I
and
think
that's what I
it
feel about
worked better
Spider-Man.
in this version. Worked far better in this version.
Yeah, and like just.
But that scene was horrendous.
I really enjoyed it. Like the fact, because I didn't know the Flash's superpowers really, apart from he goes fast. And the fact he runs out there, he takes his shoes off.
There's a scene though where his shoes come off because he's going so quick. But there's a scene as well at the end where he goes back in time so they can achieve this thing.
Oh, it's awesome. I saw so much more.
Because they lost and then they
him.
achieve it because he went back in time. And I thought that was it looked amazing. I can't think of many scenes in films that looked better than that as him moving through time.
Yeah, and I just thought it was so nice to actually see all of his powers. Remember you saying in the first one, it wasn't the Flash that you've read in the comics, really, was it?
It was just not. He's too jokey. He wasn't.
It was all rushed in the first film.
I agree. There was so much change, and you watch this film and you see all these clips that they had. How the hell did they release such a bad movie the first time round?
100%, yeah.
It's ridiculous. I don't know how they could do it.
Like, I'm not sure how much of the new stuff they filmed after, or whether it's just a lot of stuff the new director didn't choose to use.
And there's some scenes, like for example, there's a scene where Wonder Woman says Kal-El, and they've used a different cut.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you using worse cuts of this scene?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I hope I see a lot more of Zack Snyder films.
Well, there's Zack Snyder's hit and miss for me. He's done good films like The 300, and I actually enjoy his portrayal of Watchmen. But then he does things like Batman vs Superman, and you want to pull your eyebrows out.
Is that not a good film?
It is awful.
Okay. I thought that'd be quite good.
Well,
But I just don't get why they're fighting in the first place. But I
we'll
guess
end up reviewing that soon, mate.
I was going to say, I guess I'll know why they're fighting once I watch it. But then again, what I find, I know I'm probably going off script here a bit, but Marvel and DC just seem to copy each other all the time. Batman vs Superman, Civil War.
No, because Batman vs Superman is different because Civil War is a argument between characters that engrosses the whole universe. The whole universe is affected. you know, whereas Batman vs Superman is a difference just between these two people.
Yeah, but I think the main similarity is the main two characters of each universe are fighting each other.
Yeah.
But then again, DC, I am coming around to it. I am really liking it.
I personally prefer DC comic books to Marvel.
Yeah.
Movies, I prefer Marvel.
So I feel like Marvel are a bit. They're light-hearted when they need to be, as well as action at the same time, aren't they?
But I
Marvel?
think that's what this got better. It wasn't too. I feel the first Justice League cut, the Whedon cut, we had a lot of scenes trying to make jokes that just didn't land. Whereas this, less jokes, more serious. But the jokes, they came, I felt landed more often.
Yeah.
Much preferred.
And I feel like there's a lot more big characters in this film.
I agree. And I can't believe, I think it was a 15 rated. And you can tell when, like, Wonder Woman's decapitated Steppenwolf and all sorts.
Oh, my word. She was awesome.
Tell you what, I'm a bit worried about Superman when he was beating Steppenwolf.
Oh, he was going. He was
going
for it.
You know, he's down. Man down. Get a medic.
Like, yeah, in the UK we call that GBH.
Oh, I know.
Like, yeah, he was down. You didn't have to carry on punching him.
He was knocking up. You know, you've already lasered his horn off. He doesn't need any more.
So at the end of this film, there was almost that alternative universe with Batman.
Oh, where we've obviously seen Aquaman's died, Batman and Superman are fighting.
The Joker's
joined tape. What did you think to Jared Leto's portrayal in this film? Because you've obviously watched Suicide Squad. What did you think of him in that, and then what do you think of him in this at the end here?
I liked him in Suicide Squad. I really liked him in the end here. Because I feel like he's the perfect amount of crazy. Like, he looks like what I think the Joker should look like. We got some weird
jokes, though. We got about him tossing Batman off and all sorts.
Yeah, but that's what I like. It's just completely
and
randomness.
Batman, like, I'm going to fucking kill you
and
at some point.
Yeah.
It's like... It was a
dark.
weird dialogue to have, but we show proof that Robin's been killed in this universe. Obviously, Jason Todd Robin famously died in the comics, so I'm assuming that's what we mean. And I like this Joker portrayal. I think it was really, really dark. I don't know if it worked for a full film, but that few minutes he was in, I was hooked. It's a weird laugh, and there's bits of it that are weird about this portrayal that I'm not quite sure on yet. But I would love to see a film of that because 100%. It's so. I was glued at that point.
I thought it was great, and I feel like that's the kind of craziness and weirdness I expect from a Joker. Like, you don't know what he's gonna do, you don't know what he's gonna say, and it's like when he says it, it's creepy as fuck.
We see that Harley Quinn's died in that scene.
Yeah. Well, Batman said he killed her, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then,
well, no, Batman said that he was there when she died.
Oh, he watched her die at least, yeah. But then there was also the scene at the end where they're on that yacht, weren't they? Like
setting up the Legion of Doom,
exactly.
Which is obviously a big Justice League villains. You know?
So do you think Snyder is going to do against the League of Doom?
I think we'll finish this Darkseid war first.
Oh, so you feel like it's going to be a film in between?
I feel like we're going to get all the Darkseid stuff, finish Darkseid off, and then we'll get Legion of Doom, if Snyder comes back to the project.
Hopefully he will.
Well, I don't know if they'll ever come back to this with the same actors. You know, we've got a new Batman film, haven't we, coming with Robert Pattinson as Batman, so... Don't know if we'll get Batfleck back for the Justice League.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, won't it? It will be interesting. So, if you had the choice between a Snyder edition of another film or someone else doing it, what would you pick?
Got the next film, we can have Snyder, we can have another director.
Yeah.
I would take the Russo brothers who did Infinity War and Endgame for Marvel.
Yeah, I really like it.
To be honest, if we could get a film that I feel they'd understand the characters better.
The thing with the Marvel films is it shows it doesn't always have to be dark.
Yeah.
The background, like, it's just a normal sky. You
say this, though. We get Nolan, the trilogy of Batman films we've had that are amazing. I'd have Nolan do it. I'd have anyone do it. And I like Snyder. Snyder was good.
But even with the first Justice League, I feel like if that director had been in there from the first place and he did the whole film himself,
it felt like
it would have been okay.
Yeah.
The fact it kept jumping styles.
But then you
didn't
think
land.
About Whedon, he directed Age of Ultron, possibly one of the worst Marvel films.
Yeah.
You know, one of those things. All in all, 8 out of 10. Good film. Looking forward to the next if it ever comes. Cheers. Keep putting along.
Thank you. See you later, mate.
Bye.